In partnership with Kal Tire, we're diving into a topic that's top of mind for many Canadians as we transition from fall to winter, ensuring our vehicles are winter ready. With the colder months just around the corner, it's essential to be prepared, especially when it comes to our cars. Joining me today is a familiar face, Tiffany Moyer, a specialist from Kal Tire, who's here to share some invaluable tips to ensure our cars are equipped for the season and we're safe on the roads. Welcome back, Tiffany.
Thanks for having me again.
So what are the immediate steps drivers should take to ensure their vehicles are prepared for what's to come?
Yeah, so as we're starting to put our patio furniture away, pulling out our jackets and boots, we also want to be making sure that our vehicles are ready for winter. We know that vehicles these days are equipped with so many fantastic safety features, but if those tires that are touching the road don't have good tread or running at the proper pressure, or your vehicle doesn't have a good overall health, it doesn't allow those safety systems to operate at 100%.
And we've talked about the 7C switch a lot when it comes to winter driving, but it's always good to revisit it. And I feel too a little bit because people might think if they put their winter tires on too early, it's not good for your tires or the car either. So can you explain what the 7C switch is?
So every year we see people waiting for snowfall until they're ready to switch those tires out. But we want to make sure that people are really aware at 7 degrees is when those winter tires will start to outperform your all seasons. The reason being is those winter tires are made up of more of a natural rubber compound that allows them to stay flexible when your temperatures start to drop. We've talked about the hockey puck analogy being in Canada, and those all seasons that have more synthetic rubber compound, they start to harden a lot faster on you, and they're not flexible in gripping the road like they should.
And I think something too that is really worth revisiting, and I think we should educate people every year on this, is that there is a very big difference between winter tires and all-season tires. So can you explain the difference?
To help drivers better understand the difference between an all-season tire is really that we should put it out there that in Canada, it's more of a 3-season tire. They're going to do great in the spring, summer, and early fall for you, but they're not equipped to handle Canada's 4th season, which is winter. So they really should be considered that 3-season tire.
And you don't necessarily have to get winter tires in some areas of Canada, right? There is another option.
There is. You can run something that they call an all-weather tire, which meets all of the requirements for a winter tire. It's stamped the same way a winter tire is with that Tri-Peak Mountain Snowflake, and that compound will stay flexible as that temperature starts to drop. The one thing to keep in mind is that an all-weather or winter tire is not the same as a tire that has M and S stamped on the sidewall, which stands for mud and snow. A mud and snow tire, it means that there is a 30% void of tread to gap ratio. So that tire does a good job of expelling slush and snow, but that compound still starts to harden at that 7-degree mark.
Okay, so let's just go back and just clarify this for 1 second. So some tires will have a Tri-Peak Mountain Snowflake symbol, and some will have an M&S symbol, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so we're looking for which one?
For your winter tire, for that tire that's going to stay flexible, grip the road, and give you that improved handling, you want the Tri-Peak Mountain Snowflake, which is also called a severe service emblem.
All right, excellent. So let's talk about windshield wipers. I know where your tires, but wipers are just as important and something that a lot of people are going to overlook, I think. So how does the summer affect our wipers, and what signs should we be looking for to know it's time to replace them?
So if you're starting to see some streaking, hearing some of those squeaks or those stutterings as it's gliding across your windshield, and it's not clearing your windshield, or it starts to feel like it's leaving a film, you're going to be due to replace your wiper blades. There's a couple of reasons why. It's a really thin rubber barrier that's touching your windshield and trying to get rid of everything that's obstructing your view. And after trying to get bugs off your windshield all summer and being exposed to those high heats and the UV rays on your windshield all summer, you want a nice fresh rubber compound that's going to be able to flex and grip your windshield as it moves across it.
And I have just a small story to share because, wipers are one of those things that I ignored. I thought, oh, it's doing its job. It's fine. But it's always going to break down on you in the worst possible moment, which has happened to me. I didn't replace my wiper in the middle of a storm. I lost one. Not exactly the best thing to happen. So you do want to pay attention to what your wipers are doing for sure. Let's talk about brakes. Obviously, vitally, vitally important. So how often should drivers get their brakes checked, especially as we're heading into winter?
So if the wheels are coming off your vehicle, it's a great idea to just have your service providers say, hey, can you take a look at my brakes while you've got my wheels off? It never hurts to have them inspected. If you are someone that's running one set of tires, definitely at least a yearly inspection, or when you're having your tires rotated, get those brakes checked as well.
And I'm assuming, I know Kal Tire does this, of course, but I'm assuming just for everybody's safety, you can do this pretty much anywhere, is have people check the brakes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they can take a look at the pad life. Generally, brand new pads will have about 10 millimeters and then wear from there. And you also want to make sure that they are well lubricated and not rusty to make sure they're working properly and they're not sticking.
All right. So as important as it is to get our cars ready, it's also important to get ourselves ready. So any tips for drivers to sort of pull in those habits that may be a little rusty?
Make sure you're giving yourself some extra time. Make sure your vehicle's in good condition for you. If you are someone that runs that tire year round and you set your tire pressures when it was 30 degrees out, it's a great idea to stop in, have your tire pressures checked now that temperature has started to drop, because that will affect the air pressure in your tire.
And don't forget about that space, right? Give yourself lots and lots of space.
Yes.
Did you say that?
Yes.
I can't remember, but you did. Yeah, the space is important. I mean, every winter that first storm hits and we see it time and time again, people just hitting people ahead of them because they have not given themselves enough space to stop. So really important to remember.
It's better for the health of your vehicle too. You have time to react to those potholes that are on the road and you're not potentially damaging your alignment or suspension as well. Not so much just avoiding collisions, but also it's better for the overall safety and health of your vehicle.
And I don't want to freak people out before we end this, but we were talking before we started recording and you said that you had 40 appointments tomorrow to deal with. So now is the time. When should people be booking these visits?
So where we are, we're starting to see lows of that 4 degrees right now, highs of 10. Especially if you're somebody that maybe works from home or only drives in and around the city, you could start installing your tires now. It's not going to damage them. And once you know your schedule, it's always best to call your local shop, whoever you get in, book your appointment ahead of time. Because we all know that once that snow flies, you're going to be waiting for 2 to 3 weeks to get in for that appointment. And it's better to already have that set, even if it's not for a month from now.
Absolutely. Don't wait for the snow, right?
Correct. Be proactive. Don't be surprised.
All right. Excellent. Tiffany, thank you again for joining me with this very timely reminder. Every year, it's important to just let people know we get a little rusty over the summer and we get a little complacent, I think. So good reminder. Thank you for joining me. Where can people find out more and, book their appointment with Kal Tire?
So you can either go online to kaltire.com. You can book all your services there or call into the closest location. We'd be glad to help you out over the phone. If you're not sure if your winter tires are good for another season, stop in and see us. We can come right out into the parking lot and let you know if you're safe or if you're potentially looking at purchasing a new set of tires.
All right. Incredible. Thank you so much for joining me.
Have a good day.